Okay, so Quandre Diggs, great interception. McVay is always a mean piece of work, you could say. So before we get to the pick, McVay was trying to mess with Seattle's coverage stuff a fair bit with like what we call fake concepts where it's basically just designed to be the beater. So here, 12, 40-ish left in the third quarter, 1st and 10. This is a very unusual kind of concept where the depth of these routes is just crazy. You don't ordinarily get a number 2 receiver run this far deep. I know it's off play action, which helps, but like against cover 3, this would cause problems because I mean, how far downfield is that? That's like a 25-yard out route, corner post, whatever you want to call it. And then an even deeper corner. So against cover 3, that's a problem. Seattle, fortunately, on this play was in cover 4 to this side of the field and cover 6 away. Right? It's cover 2 away. So it's cover 6.
Is it a fire zone though? No.
No.
It's not. It's just Jackson realizing he's got nothing to do.
Yeah. Adding on is cool. So yeah, and Woolen got the pass break up. Baker, was he late on it? Yeah, kind of. But then he's also hesitating because he wants his receiver to break away from Woolen. There's a special play from Woolen, special pass break up.
Crazy play, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the context. So in that coverage, Seattle's fine, but this was the perfect beater. The Diggs interception was the perfect beater because Seattle was in cover 3. So it's a similar kind of deal where you get a deep corner from the number 2, and then a deep comeback from the 1.
And he's a jet wheel into a comeback too.
Yeah, which is nuts. So as soon as Woolen sees this jet motion across the field, he's going to take that because it's the new number 1. It's going to occupy his eyes because no one else can play it. He's the one with the leverage because he's so far outside. And from a Kobe Bryant perspective, this split is tight. It's also trips, so he's going to zone. He's not going to match 2 downfield, which is why he doesn't run with the corner, because at times Seattle will match it. But also in this game with play action and stuff, I don't think they did as, you'd have to correct me here, but I don't think they'd have done as much matching, right?
Right.
Like, especially the trips. So at this point, they've widened out. It's to the field side as well. So they've widened out Woolen. And this receiver's super kind of tight running this. And it's basically a seam route until it ain't, which means it's on Quandre Diggs. So it's just the perfect beater. But Diggs' ability to, in the middle of the field, look at his primary threat, which is obviously the inside receiver running the almost the slot route, and then, I mean, yeah, he's open, but Diggs had to honor the post route first. Off the cut, Woolen had to play. I mean, he doesn't read where the ball's going, but like Baker's gearing up, he has to play this route. It's the perfect beater.
And like, look at the pocket. You know, he's got all the time in the world. 7 guys in protection, 4-man rush.
Yeah, Clint Hurts said how he was like, "Oh no," when he saw this, because it's max protect. This is McVay going for it. Like, this could be his last play on offense that he's called for the Rams.
Right. And he called it. Didn't he call it his best beater? I mean, you like, you could say, well, if you can just beat any coverage, why don't you call plays that? It only works if the protection is just pristine. So yeah, they have pristine protection here. I mean, you can beat absolutely any coverage that exists on the whiteboard under certain assumptions. And the assumption was, well, we have all the time in the world, so he just kind of put all his effort into the protection call
Yeah.
here to make sure it worked.
This is the fakest smash concept I've ever seen.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it's elongated smash.
yeah,
It's impossible for the corner to play it, and it's very hard on the free safety to play it.
yeah, because Woolen is trying to split the distance between this guy who's running a wheel and this guy. He's visioning this and the quarterback. But realistically, as it progresses downfield, like remember the line of scrimmage was at the 20-yard line. Now the two's at the 30, so that's 10 yards already. Now it's 15 yards. At a certain point, and Woolen's guys also now getting towards the 15-yard kind of depth. At a certain point, Woolen has to pick, and this guy's running the corner route at 15 yards is still running as though it's a seam. So in
Right.
Woolen's mind, that's the safeties.
This was the corner and the safety were in conflict, pretty much conflicted the same way the 49ers were in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs when they ran that wasp thing, where
Yes,
the
great
number one
point.
receiver ran that dig route at 15 yards, and they had the Tariq Woolen looked like or not Tariq Woolen, Tyreek Hill, because he's even faster than this guy running up the seam. He
Yeah,
looked
he
like he
was
was
like,
running an over route, but then runs the 7 cut back toward the sideline at the end. And it's just impossible for a cover 3 corner to do anything with that. You have to honor your outside route, but then it naturally out leverages the free safety. So again, it only works if you have fast as hell receivers and the quarterback is all the time in the world.
yeah, and this is Van Jefferson running the route right. He only breaks on the corner route. Oh my word! So he starts breaking the corner route at 43-yard line. So 23 yards he's run down the field, and then
Yeah.
he starts breaking out again. So yeah, Tariq Woolen had no hope in hell. And
And
Diggs,
so,
Diggs is a middle field safety. Your depth gives you range. Him getting depth into the middle of the field gave him the room to then make a play. The fact he undercut it is crazy.
yeah, because he bends back. So we looked at it like, oh, it was underthrown. It was. But if he throws it on a line, Diggs is able to converge on it because Diggs ends up bending his angle back.
Yeah. And
So,
should he have returned the ball? Yeah, but it's kind of a baller
so
play.
if that ball was thrown, I don't think that ball could have possibly have been caught in stride, but at least he could have let him a little bit more. Diggs is still going to be able to contest this if it was Stafford throwing this. It's just with Mayfield throwing it, Diggs has picked it off. So it's still an incredible play from Diggs. On the broadcast, I thought, even with the replays, I thought it was just, underthrown. We got lucky. Diggs did a good job on the underthrow. But watching it with the all-22, I
Yeah.
definitely think Diggs would have converged on this.
It's just
Had it
crazy
not been
ball
underthrown.
tracking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's Earl Thomas-esque, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
And
I mean,
also look at Baker's eyes here as well, just on the Woolen point. Baker's really baiting Woolen into that jet. Like he's looking out here at the deep hitch from the number one to really make sure that Woolen Nestle's down, and he only comes back to his crazy deep corner
yeah,
route very late. Yeah,
Mayfield's got that uncle throwing it over the mountains, crow hop into this throw.
yeah.
Not quite a crow hop, but
I do think he probably should put the ball more outside than like to the numbers rather than.
I don't even think he has the throw
But I
power
don't think
for
he
that.
can. Yeah, I mean, it is like this ball does go a lot of yards. This is all he has.
Yeah, yeah,
Which again is why you don't see teams do this every time because it requires ridiculous arm talent.
right.
Like
It's why Chargers fans have to be dying a slow death watching Joe Lombardi call plays for Herbert.
wow, Joe Lombardi catching strays.